Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your day and join us in some boy band conversation. As always, my name is Diane.
I'm Chinzia.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Lydia, aka Mama Lou.
All right, so we are back.
Are there any birthdays?
I believe
forgot to check.
I believe not till July is what we said.
Okay.
So I think we're good.
Hooray!
Happy birthday if it's your birthday.
If we miss some birthdays, I don't know. Anyways,
I thought it was till August.
might even have been till August.
Maybe.
So yes, we're back with our second episode of video.
Sophia is represented by this doll again.
So, once again, I ask, subscribe, let us know if you like this format. Cause, maybe we'll keep doing it, or maybe we won't. Who knows?
You get to
It's
decide.
a mystery.
It's not a mystery.
It's not a mystery, sorry.
It's...
Also, so again,
That
so
was a very good
Facebook,
laugh
Twitter,
track.
Instagram, at Boy Band Break. And make sure you check out the contest that we have posted.
yes,
Yes.
for sure.
For our 100th episode.
Is this the 100th episode?
This is
No.
the 96th episode.
Oh,
We're almost
We're
there.
4 episodes away.
Ooh.
From the 100th episode extravaganza.
Mm.
That I have no idea what it's gonna be yet.
Okay.
But
Mystery.
get excited, everyone.
But
'cause
get
it's
excited. Get excited in here. Okay. Anyways,
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
this is going so well. Alright.
Okay, well then, what is today's
So-
episode about?
This is literally us.
Well, that's true. Tour season is here, but there are no tours because of coronavirus.
Boo.
Sadness.
But now is the time when tours would
reflection?
be happening, or at least starting.
Carnival fairs, fish and chips, ice cream. Like, now is the time of happiness and joy.
Actually, I think
Fish and chips bring you happiness and joy.
Only if there's tartar sauce. Otherwise, forget it. Throw that shit over the pier. No, thank you.
Is fish and chips seasonal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like summery. It's like a
Okay.
summer. You can
I
eat it
don't eat
whenever.
fish, so I don't know.
But like, Easter and like summer is when I think of fish and chips. I'm not like, ooh, it's winter time. Let me pull up a fish and chip brew. Like, fish and chips is a summertime thing, in my opinion.
Especially when you live in the
When I live in the car,
the French fry truck.
no one knows what Chinzia is talking about. Anyways, I actually think today.
Lydia likes to believe everything our brother says. So when she was younger, she thought that
he said that people live in a people who are in the fry truck live in the fry truck. They have a single mattress above the fryer to keep them warm at night. And I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense because I am a child and I don't know these things. And Jinder thought it was hilarious because my brother is a jerk and he made me believe in some stupid shit. Like, for example, Michael Jackson lived next door to our cousins in Ohio, and because they were rich, they lived in a mansion. And so I'm like, oh, clearly another mansion is definitely Michael Jackson. That makes sense. So I never saw him though.
yes, because he did not live there.
Yes, because he doesn't live in Ohio.
Okay.
And now he's dead. So,
Not our brother.
not our brother, Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Anyway.
Okay.
My only point is today I think is the first day of summer, if I'm not mistaken.
All the days blend into one now, so who
So-
I
knows?
feel
It's
like we
June
can't really keep
21st.
track
Is
anymore.
June 21st the first day
Oh!
of summer?
Happy Father's Day to
Oh,
all the boy
also
banders.
happy Father's Day.
I would say probably about 50% of boy banders are fathers.
At least 50.
And maybe
At
another
least.
25% might not know that they're fathers. So,
True.
so
Well,
Kudos to all
Father's
of
Day
you.
to all.
One and all, enjoy your Father's Day. Anyways, it's summer now,
Oh,
officially.
Yay!
Which
As a fat person, I hate summer because it's hot, but air conditioning and the summer food is nice. So I'm just gonna put that out there.
okay,
Yes.
Can we even do anything now
ice
in
cream
the summer?
shops.
yes. And
Okay.
what comes with summer? Concerts.
LFO.
What's not happening? because this
Concerts?
year in 2020, concerts.
Aww.
However,
That's sad.
what I was thinking was, you know, when we originally started this podcast, our original thought was we should make a YouTube channel that like kind of documents our like road trip tour experiences.
Yes, we
All
did
right.
have that idea.
And we like shot
Yes,
a bunch
I
of
do remember
footage.
this. Oh,
On
wasn't
my-
it Instagram stories first?
No. This
That was
like-
after. This was before all that.
Did we use a camera first, or was it always been phone?
Nope, it was all on my phone. It might still be there.
I think it
I
might,
might
be on
have
my phone too. I don't know.
Deleted some of it.
Mhm.
Anyways,
Okay.
we filmed a bunch of stuff, and then we were like, cool, so when we get back, we should put this all together in a video, and we never did.
We did not.
Also, what happened was we were doing a really good job at the beginning of the road trip, and by the end, we were just like, so anyways.
Yeah, we're like, hey, we're in the car. We just left. Oh, we're at the border. Oh, whatever. And then it's just like, oh, we've been in this car for 15 hours. We don't care. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just want to go home. I hate Quebec. Anyways.
yes.
Who doesn't?
I know who Nick Carter is.
What?
Anyway, we were
There was a
crossing the
border.
border into...
By the way, if you
But
cross the
Quebec, wasn't
border,
Quebec fast at the border?
sorry,
Quebec was fast at the border. Why do you
it was
think
Yeah.
fast because there was no cars, and I wasn't even sure we were at a border because it looked like a shack.
You don't
Um,
don't have
yeah.
to pay if you cross there.
Yes, you only have to pay in Ontario.
What the hell?
Maybe
Yeah.
in the rest of the provinces, but in Quebec you did not. And we pull
Wow.
up to this lady, and she's like, "Where are you from?" We're like, "Ontario." They're like, "Why are you coming from?" "Oh, we were at Boston to see Nick Carter." And she looks at us, and I
Oddly.
like, and then we're like, "From the Backstreet Boys," and she's like, "I know who Nick Carter is," and we're like,
Okay.
Thank you.
We're like, it was very very hostile. I don't know. It was
Wow.
very- but we got into the country, so there you go. So.
It's fine.
I guess
Yeah.
she had a lot of people say that, so we probably got the brunt of it.
Or maybe she had a bad experience with
Or
Nick
maybe
Carter.
she's an NSYNC fan. Who knows?
Could
Who
be.
knows?
Could be
Yeah,
any of
Who
sure.
those
You never
things.
know.
Yes.
Anyways, part of the goal of that was like to document our experience, which is what we're kind of doing here. But also we were like, oh, we could give people like tips and tricks about like when
Oh.
you're doing this, you know, you should do that and like da da da. So I figured, you know what? What better thing to do when you're stuck at home and can't do anything, can't travel, but to plan for next year.
All right.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
get prepared so in 2021 you're just like efficient AF. You have everything ready. You look snatched. Your bags are
Mm.
packed. You're ready to
Good.
go.
Snatched is
Snatched
lovely.
is good.
Yes.
Yeah,
It sounds like
isn't
a
that a
not
song?
good
I wish
It
it was
is
a
good.
song.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's not in with the drag.
Excuse-moi. Excuse-moi. Yes.
Yeah. So, what are your tips and tricks for tour season?
Let's start with Shinzia.
Okay.
Bristol
Buy your
boards.
tickets.
I don't know if that's a tip or a trick.
Well,
Just
some people don't
stating
buy their
the
tickets
obvious.
before a road trip, so you know.
No, but
Some
Chinzia,
people just buy the
okay.
ticket and then
True. No, you
deal
could
with
get
it
last
later.
minute tickets for good prices.
Yeah,
right.
that's
I
true.
feel like one tip or trick is if you can't find seats that you like or, you know, at a price that you like, you can wait until a few days before.
Even
Like,
day
we,
of.
we did that for
Yeah.
Nashville because we're like, okay, we were gonna do the day before, but we had to actually get to Nashville. It was 14 hours, maybe
Something like
12
that.
hours, 14 hours.
Jeez.
So then we were just like, we want to go, but the prices are really expensive. And then eventually it got low enough, and we're like, all right, let's do this. And then we went to the Jonas Brothers concert, recorded an episode, and then took off for Nashville.
It was crazy.
Yes.
That was a very busy day.
What I like to do, because I'm a bit neurotic, is I like to make Excel spreadsheets and where we are going to be and where the bands are. The last tour, I got a little more in depth in my spreadsheet to see how many kilometers away from our house these venues were.
This is
So we
pre-buying tickets even.
So we could kind of like map out, okay, what's a good route? Obviously, check out what days of the week. Like, do we have enough vacation time? Diane has the whole summer off, whereas Sophia and I don't. So we have to work on the vacation and figured, okay, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what shows are generally easier to do because you don't have to take as much time off. And then just kind of like plan a route. Sometimes the route makes sense. Sometimes the route doesn't make sense. Like when Nick did his solo tour here, it was like, what was it? North Bay, Toronto,
and Belleville.
Belleville, this place that like it did not make any sense at all. And poor Diane had to drive. Sarnia was the other one.
I mean, I didn't have to.
She
No one had a
chose-
gun to my head, but I chose to do it.
Yes. So yeah, so I'd say kind of like first make kind of a map of where things are happening, and then if you're lucky enough to have friends that travel as well or that live in these cities, maybe try to plan with them like, okay, hey, we want to go to this one, are you going to go to this one? Like, so then you can kind of like see people and see the concert and not have to like do as many stops unless you want to, obviously. So yeah,
For sure. I wrote it down a few things.
Okay.
Most of my things are sort of post you've bought a ticket, now you're planning. Because I'm kind of thinking like for Backstreet, I think even maybe for O-Town, people have already bought in tickets and these shows are just going to be rescheduled. So you
Right.
kind of already know where you're going to go. So now you're like, all right, how do
And-
I...
pay attention for these rescheduled dates, that if the dates don't work for you, there's a very small time
Window.
period that you can get a refund for these tickets.
I think
or-
it's 30 days.
Okay, so that's probably done now for Backstreet, right?
Possibly, yes.
I don't know, but yeah, just look at the terms and conditions, make sure that you can. And if for some reason you missed it and you know that you can't go, although I don't know who's planning a year in advance right now.
Maybe like a wedding.
Maybe if there's a wedding or something, so you can sell them on
StubHub.
Ticketmaster or StubHub. I personally like StubHub better
Me too,
because I feel
Stick it to the man.
Ticketmaster is evil.
It's
They
shady.
are.
Like I attempted to sell Niall Horan tickets for less than the list price because it was the day of the show and I just wanted them gone, and they wouldn't let me put them for lower because they had tickets that were unsold.
Yeah.
So I was just like, this is ridiculous.
You are bastards.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yes.
But you know,
That sucks.
All right.
who knows what's
so
gonna happen to any of these ticketing places with no concerts? So
Yeah, that's true.
on the vein of saving money, we prefer to drive
yes.
rather than to fly. And you're thinking to yourself, true, Diane, I agree. You could save money doing that, but I don't want to be in a car for that long. And you're right. But think of this, okay? You fly to wherever you're going to fly to, all right? You get there. Sure, you're well rested, everything's great. Now you don't have a car.
Yeah.
So to get anywhere, you either need to rent a car or
Mhm.
take like taxis and Ubers,
Yeah.
which is going to cost you even more money.
Yes.
All
Now,
right?
The key is if you are going with a group of people, generally it is cheaper to drive than it is to fly.
Yes.
Yes.
If you are going by yourself, and no shade if you are, then maybe you do want to just fly down.
I feel like if you're going alone, 100% fly. Don't worry
Yeah.
about a car at that point.
And the
Yeah.
other problem that we have is kind of like out of Toronto does fly to a lot of different places, but it's more expensive. So we would have to like drive to Buffalo usually and then try to go to other ones from there, and then there's a lot of connecting flights and stuff. But you know, if you can do a road trip, it's fun. Also, a good thing is to have other drivers in the car.
hmm
So you need to have at least one other driver. That
Two is a minimum.
two is a minimum, but whatever. And then in case you get sick or you're not feeling well or whatever, or you're tired and you are about to drive off the road, good idea to switch drivers or get a hotel.
Speaking of hotels, so you're thinking, you know what? It's fine. I saved money. I'll just pay the Ubers. It's cool. Okay? But consider this. All right? You're also going to need a hotel to stay in while you're there. All right? And typically, at least in my experience, where the venues are, the hotels are more expensive.
Yep.
All right?
That's true, yeah.
So sometimes,
Especially the closer to the show, because other people have bought the hotel rooms.
right.
Right.
Sometimes what we like to do, especially if we're going to multiple shows kind of in a row, is we'll get a hotel, say an hour away in the direction of where we're going the next day, so that it's cheaper. And because you're all hyped up
You're-
after a
the show,
concert
you're like,
anyways.
"Whoa, that was so great." So you're like, you got a good hour or so before the rush starts to come down.
Mhm.
So if you can get in that car and start driving, less time you have to drive the next day, better.
and you pay less money for the hotel room.
What?
Yes, because you're splitting.
Because you're
'Cause
not.
you're
For
going out of
example,
town.
we went from Boston to Quebec, which is, I forget how many hours that is, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, it was
anyways.
whatever.
We staying in Boston was an insane amount of money. So on our way down the night before, we stopped at a hotel probably about 45 minutes out of Boston,
Mhm.
and then packed everything up, blah, 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 and then did the show. So we obviously had to pay for parking in Boston. But then after the show, got out immediately and then started driving an hour. And did we already pre-book that hotel or
We
no?
did.
Yes. So then we were like, okay. And that also gives you a little bit of a goal too. You're like, okay, only 45 more minutes to go, and then we're stopping for the night now, right? So,
Interesting.
and it was in like kind of like the middle of nowhere, whatever.
I
But it was
Did you
off
use
of
a
the
hot
highway.
wire?
That's another good one. I enjoy Hotwire secret hotels are my favorite things, but some people
They're pretty
are a
good.
little scared of the Hotwire secret hotels. So how it works is that you pick like the area of town you want to be in. So it shows on a map like what section it is, and then you pick the star rating. And then generally, if it's a smaller town, you can kind of guess what hotel you're going to get based on what it says it has. But now I've noticed they've also done a thing where they use, on some of them, they'll give you, it'll be one of these 4 options. So then I just kind of like look up the 4 options and like, these are not terrible, that's fine, we'll do this. Diana's nodding because also Sophia and I are a little more adventurous, and we
Yes. I don't mind the hot wire. I think it's fun.
So we had a very terrible hotel in Miami, but we were only staying there overnight. It was I've never seen this
on
before.
par with Montreal.
Yes,
Hotel.
those were both the 2 worst hotel motels we
Yes.
stayed in. But this particular one, it had a double bed and a single bed, and it had like a door made of wood with like shutters, and then you had to like
What?
it was terrible. There was no lock on the front door.
What?
Like, so your room had a lock.
At like 6 a.m. in the morning. I was like,
The continental breakfast was toast or poppy seed bread. That was it.
Ew.
There was nothing else.
Ew.
There was hot water, but I don't think there was tea bags. Like, it was just like
no, it was
Oh,
bad.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh my god.
Actually, another good point about that, though, is when you're on a road trip, you can either A, bring food from home, B, always bring a cooler, because then you can put, like, your drinks and stuff. Like, you can pick up veggies and things. We like to stop, like, a lot of the convenience stores, especially in the States, have a lot of, like, crazy things. So we like the different snacks, and, like, they do have like the fresh veggies or cheese or whatever and things like that.
Well, and then this is
Walmart
a
is
good
also-
thing too, right? So if you have your car at the venue, instead of paying $6 for a bottle of water, you put some water and maybe even some snacks in your car. So when the concert's over, you're just like, gotta get to the car. As soon as you get to the car, you're like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yep.
And
And then-
sometimes they even close the drinks.
They
at
do
end
the
before-
concession. Why do they do that?
And you've been screaming for
I know,
hours.
it's so
You're
stupid.
thirsty. You
It's
need
so
a drink.
stupid.
You get to your car like,
Yeah.
crack open a cold water.
You're tired after a
Huh?
concert.
Yeah.
Like you've expended a lot of energy.
Mhm.
You know, or even if you don't have a cooler, but you have one of those insulated, the ones, metal water bottles
Yeah.
that keep your shit cold
Yeah.
for 24 hours.
Yeah.
You put the water in there, you leave that in your car, it's still going to be cold. I guarantee you.
And you're also going to be getting the ice for the cooler from your hotels
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they're there, so you don't have to pay
It's
extra
free.
for that. Plus,
Yeah.
get a cooler that has wheels.
Yes.
And
so
then
important.
when you're bringing shit into the hotel, you just put it on the cooler and bring it in. And then you also have water in the hotel.
Yes.
Because sometimes, obviously you're not going to drink out of the sink because sometimes they're kind of sketchy.
No.
And the bottles of pop are usually like $3 or something there. So
Mhm.
you went to Walmart, you got your case of water, you're good. So
And you can do this even if you fly in. All the times that we went to Vegas, the times that we've gone for other things that we have flown, the first thing we do when we get there, like we go in, we check into our hotel, we're like, okay, where is there a Walgreens or a something
Yeah.
where we can go and get a case of water and bring it back to the hotel, because I'm not putting money in a vending machine
Yeah.
to get water in the middle of the night. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Exactly. And like even like 7-Eleven even has like fruit and stuff. So sometimes we'll go in the morning, like when we were in Miami, the 7-Eleven is like 2 doors down. You just go like, oh, here's cut up fruit. Here's like a bagel. Here's
Sweet.
this. So
Yes, please.
if your hotel
Yeah.
isn't one of I personally like to go for like the
Convenient.
cheaper hotel chains that actually do give you free breakfast. But if you don't, this is a good thing too, like to pick up cheap
Like a
breakfast items.
backup thing.
Granola bars are also really good for road trips because they don't melt too much in the car. Like little bags of chips, things like that. So like
Nothing with chocolate. That's a disaster.
yes, especially when you're going into warmer places, it just all melts.
Yeah.
Unless you get like peanut M&Ms are one of our good road trip ones because we feel like the little peanut gives you protein and the shell protects the chocolate from melting.
Okay,
true,
that's
it's
So
true.
sometimes
Yeah.
when you're driving and it's late and you're getting tired, like give me those peanut M&Ms.
Chinzia likes to get slushies.
I also
when
like to
she's
get
very
slushies
tired.
when I'm
Yeah,
tired
yeah.
because I feel the ice helps.
And
Keep me
then
awake,
sometimes
'cause it should-
when she's driving in the middle of the night and she has a slushie, she can't.
One time!
She has to look at the road, right? This is,
But that
you
was
know,
the best time.
everyone knows when you're driving, you're gotta keep your eyes on the road. Okay, so you
Okay.
can't be looking at your slushie. So Chinzia just stabs her. I was
At
gonna
this
say
point,
fork,
the
but
the
Because
it's
liquid is
straw.
gone, so it's
one
mostly just the
person to
ice.
see her doing what she's doing.
Not a fork, a straw. She's stabbing her straw into her slushie,
And then doing the thumb thing.
and then putting it in her mouth.
Because someone is looking over and like, what is it? What are you doing?
But her eyes are on the road. So in this particular instance, were we going to Nashville? Where were we going to?
It was
No,
either Nashville or Kentucky.
one of those.
Yeah, Kentucky.
We were. She's instead of putting her straw into the slushy cup, was stabbing the side and putting her straw directly
Okay, the cup
onto
is
the
in
cup
the cup
holder.
holder. And I put it in and I got it. Then the second time I went to go do it, I felt that I did not get ice. And I was like, oh, I did the outside of this cup. So in my half asleep head, I thought, oh, better keep the motion going and I'll pretend to have the ice. Thinking that Diane didn't see that I didn't stab the cup. Diane did see this.
So basically, the tip and trick is don't eat cup holder.
It was like 1:30 in the morning or
It
something.
was so funny.
I died laughing.
Oh
I
my
couldn't
God.
breathe.
That was
She actually
very- yeah, I
made
was
like a
laughing too. I was
video,
like, oh my
like
I
an
God.
did.
Instagram live of how like reenacting it. And I was
Oh
like, you're
my
ridiculous.
God. Amazing.
Anyways,
That was
Also,
pretty entertaining.
good thing to have is a GPS.
GPS is good.
Again, all phones have it on them, but if you don't want to use data, it's always good to have like an external GPS. Is always a good thing.
mhm.
It recalculates, it does all that stuff. So
But you gotta make sure that's up to date because sometimes those.
sometimes
be-
new roads have come, and you're like, you're in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, oh, I'm clearly on this road, Tom.
Or sometimes you go under a tunnel
oh yeah.
and then there's no signal and you're like, well.
Well, it was
Bye-bye.
nice knowing us. So that was
Yeah.
Boston. I think was pretty bad.
Yes,
for that.
yes.
Boston is bad for that.
Boston
Yeah.
is the one, right, where you go under the tunnel because the airport is in the middle of the city.
I
And
believe so.
so you're just, and there's all these exits, and you're just like, well, I'm gonna keep going.
That's
And
what it is. Hope for the best. It'll recalculate me. Hope. Pittsburgh's kind of like that too. I feel like we lost some
yeah, I don't
when we were going over
remember.
bridges.
Yeah.
So again, GPSs are great to have, but if not, your phone. Just make sure that if you don't have a plan for international, we're Canadian and we usually travel in the States. So if just make sure you have data and things so that
Even if you
Is that
don't
good?
have data, though, Google Maps is, so long as you load it when you're still in Wi-Fi, it will continue to tell you where to go. It just can't recalculate you, or
if there's accidents,
you know, yeah, or like reroute you. It's gonna keep directing you back to the original route. So if something happens, that's not good. But you can still have a general map.
It's always good for the passenger in the front seat to be your navigator and kind of like give you, especially like some cities like exits come out of nowhere and there's multiple exits. It's always good to have that
Yeah.
extra set of eyes to like make sure you're going the right way.
American exits are always so short and fast.
Yes, and sharp.
And yeah, and even like entry roads onto like in America are just like, and here you go, you're dead, right? Like whereas like
And
in
here you
Canada,
go, you're dead.
like we have a shoulder, and it's like, hey, the highway's coming up, guys. Just so you're aware. Oh, this lane's starting to end a little bit. Oh, look, I guess. Oh, it's a highway. Okay, you gotta merge. You know what I mean? Where America's like,
It's
fuck
like,
you. It's like, oh my god, it's too much. It's too much. I hate driving in America. It's the worst. However, they do sell alcohol everywhere,
That's
which
true.
is a bonus because in Ontario, we can only sell them at like certain stores, because we have a monopoly government who's like, no, alcohol is only allowed in this little spot.
And only until this certain time.
Yes, and then we close at 10 o'clock, and you're just like, ah! So, not that I'm like a huge like alcohol
Also
person.
a good thing, yeah. Yes, if you are driving, you can pick up alcohol at places. Not while you're driving, so when you get to your hotel at
Destination.
night
Tip
or
for
whatever.
Canadians, also, gas is way cheaper in America.
Yes.
Way
Yes.
cheaper.
Oh my god.
So if you
Like,
can...
yes, there's the exchange rate, but even with the exchange rate, so much cheaper down there.
So if you're thinking, oh, I gotta gas up before I go on this road trip, no. Drive across the border, then gas up.
Yes.
A lot of the highways, especially like have little rest areas and stuff that you can stop to use the bathrooms and things like that.
Oh,
So
love those. You
those
kind of
are
just
good.
pull off the highway, piss, gas, keep going. You don't even
Yes.
have to like go into the town.
Make sure that
Yes.
you have good health insurance and you don't injure yourself at the gas station.
That was
Who
one
injured
time.
themselves at a gas station?
This one.
Okay, we were on our way back from shopping in Buffalo, and I'm short, so I was standing on the little like ledge thingy at the gas thing with my flip flops, and I stepped down, and I did not realize that the metal was all corroded and rusted, and it stabbed my foot. So I just put a little hand sanitizer on there and drove back over the border, and then went to urgent care and got my tetanus shot, and everything was good. So we're good. So yes, first aid kit. Bring a first aid kit with you.
Yes.
Because you never know. Blankets and pillows, also good. Obviously, hotels
Standard,
have that.
yes.
But, when you're driving, some person might want it to be freezing Arctic, Josh. And other people like to have, like, a normal body temperature. So, there you go. So,
Yeah.
have a blanket, pillow, so you can take naps. Especially if you're doing a long trip and you're going to switch off drivers. It's good for the other person.
But pro tip, either leave your
Bring
pillow...
bring also your charger, because you never
Yes.
know.
Well,
You
yes,
could
of
always
course.
So true.
need it.
Yes.
An
And
external
if
battery
you
pack.
can get one of those,
Ooh.
we had a power bar for your car, so it plugged into the cigarette lighter, and we could actually like put a bunch of things in there. So they're very
Yeah.
cheap. We got them at Canadian Tire or whatever, or online.
Very convenient
Lydia
to
bought
help
one
you
of the
out.
famous ones. So
In
yeah,
times of need.
Mhm.
yes. You cannot use a hair dryer because Gina tried to do that once, and shockingly, it tripped it.
What?
I was just
What?
like, so that's too much power.
Yeah.
But if you're just trying to charge your phone or other devices, then yes, you can use
Throw
multiple.
your head out the window.
See,
It's
just
just like,
learn
I
as
wonder
you
if this
go.
works, but no, it did not. It did not work.
Yeah.
Sorry, circling back to the pillows really
Yes.
quick. Either leave if you're gonna bring a pillow, either leave it in the car or put it in a pillowcase that's not white, because otherwise you're gonna leave it at the hotel
What?
because
Yeah.
you're gonna think it's part of the hotel pillows.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
we discovered this an hour and a half away from Montreal. I was like, "Where's my pillow?" And I was like, "It is in the hotel," because when we did a final sweep, because it was a white pillowcase, I thought it was the hotel's pillowcase.
Shit.
That
was a good pillow.
No.
So yes, so
Yeah, so if you're
bright
with
colored
your
pillowcases are your friends.
Just not white. Honestly, it doesn't have to be bright colored. Black even. Gray. Blue. I don't care.
99% of hotels have white sheets, so
Yeah.
they're gonna have white pillowcases.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
a different color is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just do a double check just to be on the safe side. That's why you have like a few friends with you to help you out there.
Yes.
So anything else for on the way?
I gotta like.
Make a packing
Okay.
list. Lydia is very good at helping me
I do.
pack
I
because
am.
I'm bad at that. But yeah, I don't know. I just find that generally people pack like double the amount of underwear they need in case they're gonna shit their pants on a daily
Because
basis.
you don't.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying I do, but they're small. They fit things.
I have to say the best packer in this whole group is Sophia.
Yes.
Like Sophia, so can you like enlighten us about what you do, because like you have like literally like a shoulder bag and like you are good. Like I don't know how you do it, bud.
Sorry, who's the best packer?
You.
Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't hear that part. It cut out.
How do you
Yeah.
how do you pack?
I
What
feel
do you
like
do?
I've traveled enough now to know how to pack.
Uh-huh.
I usually roll my clothes up and make sure I have like enough space in the luggage to like bring everything. I make sure like I know what outfits I want to bring, and like if I need a few extra, then that's fine too. But usually I have a good amount of outfits to wear, and I'm good to go.
Another pro tip if you're even if you're flying, especially if you're flying, because especially if you're going to do a carry-on only, you can only have a certain amount of liquids and things like that, right? So, and the weight things. So you don't want you. There's going to be a Walgreens or anything that once you get there. So you can buy your shampoo and conditioner there, unless you need like a special kind. Like there's no need to bring all that stuff and take up space in your luggage. And like always check the airlines ahead of time if you're flying, because the weight, you don't want to pay extra, because 1 pound can be an extra $50 or whatever, right? So if you don't need to bring it, it's not, unless you're going to like a third world country or somewhere where you're not going to be able to get these things. When you're going to Canada or the States, there's so many Walmarts and grocery stores and things you can pick up. Which is why when we travel by car, we tend to put a heck of a lot more stuff in there, because we're like,
it's a pro and a con, right? Because we're 3 of us, we have a whole trunk. Why not bring outfit choices? You know, just take the closet, throw it in the suitcase, zip it up, and throw it in the car, and then decide when you get there.
Whereas when I did the cruise, I did 2 back-to-back cruises. I did like a cruise with my mom and my friend Olivia and her mom, and then I did the Backstreet Boys cruise right after that, and I had to fly down to Florida, so I had to pack everything in these luggages to try to make it there. It was especially the theme outfits and stuff for the Backstreet Boys cruise. So yeah, you get a little bit creative when you're trying to pack for flights.
So yes, what going back to Sophia, like what should you pack? What do you need? What are the essentials? What should people wear at concerts? Like maybe they don't know, right? They don't know what the venue's gonna be like. So what's like a generic, safe outfit to wear to like a concert?
Okay, well, a nice outfit, probably like jeans or a black pair of pants.
You would advise,
or a nice shirt that you have, maybe like a sparkly shirt.
You would advise pants over like a dress or skirt.
Yes, something like that. Yes.
Because I'm thinking a dress might take up less space.
Well, I feel like in
Vegas, well, it depends on the person, right? How comfortable you are, how like what you want to wear.
Some people go all out.
Some people like to dress up. Some people just like to be casual. It really depends.
Yes.
I don't get the people who dress up like to the nines. I don't get it.
Especially when they're wearing painful shoes.
It's just like you're sitting in the 300s. Like the Backstreet Boys are not going to see you.
Flats are the way to go if you want to like dress it up.
Well, this is what I was going to say.
It also depends on the venue too. So for example, we were in Ottawa. That was outdoors in a field. You're not going to wear like stilettos to a field. Whereas in Vegas, it was fancier. Some people had VIP tables. I feel like those people.
Okay. If you have a VIP table near the front, absolutely dress up, get your nails did.
Get y'all sparkly.
Yeah, like I get
hair,
that, right?
makeup.
But if you're in the 300s, you're not wearing stilettos. What's the point?
If you're far back, it really doesn't matter what you wear. No one's gonna see you.
And if you're in the pit, you want to be comfortable because you're standing for hours. However,
so for the pit, I wear running shoes because that's the most comfortable I'm in.
Yeah, and so what I was gonna say is I can't. Yeah, getting into what Sophia was saying, I can't exactly tell you what to wear, and it does depend on the venue. Things that I can tell you for sure, regardless of where you're sitting and regardless of whatever, if you're gonna be at a concert and you're gonna be having a good time, you need to bring comfortable shoes. You gotta walk into that venue. You gotta walk out of that venue.
Stand in line.
You want to be able to. Yes, you know what I mean. And so you need to wear comfortable shoes, and comfortable shoes doesn't necessarily mean flats for everyone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
True. Like, I'm just saying, for if you're wearing heels and you can't wear them, flats is like another option.
Yes, but like a flimsy.
If you're used to wearing heels,
like a kitten heel is nice.
Yeah, some people prefer wedges, whatever. But like what I'm saying is, it needs to be a shoe that's comfortable, that you can stand in and walk in and whatever for a long time. A flimsy flip-flop is not, your feet are still going to be in pain because you might as well stand on the ground with your bare feet. You know what I mean? Or like, you know those little ballet flats?
Oh yeah.
That like are just
rolled up
so thin at the bottom, you know, and then like your feet are swelling and then they're cutting you off, and again you might as well be standing on the floor because the sole is this thin. These are not good choices. Okay?
This is like all of Chinzia's
Always
choices.
go with comfortable.
I wear
Comfortable
Birks
is
now.
I've converted her to the Birkenstock life.
I think Olivia converted me to the Birkenstock life.
You did not have Birkenstocks
She
when I
bought- I've
owned
never
you.
purchased a
When I
Birkenstock.
owned you, when I met you.
When you-
Oh!
No, I would wear flip flops, but yes, my feet hurt regardless, and I'm short.
Has everyone, all of your Birkenstocks have been gifted to you? Because I gifted you a pair of your
I think
Birkenstocks.
so. I might have bought one pair.
Did you get her the cork ones?
I still
No,
need
I
to
don't-
get
I don't
her.
have
She
cork
doesn't
ones.
have cork ones. I still need to get her on the
God.
cork ones.
Oh,
I don't know. I feel
Because
cork seems
she
like
buys the cheap ones that are still foam, but it's like a thick foam.
Yeah, they're nice. I like them.
So, but if you get the cork ones, yeah. Okay, these are not. This is still foam, so eventually that's gonna wear down. Okay,
Oh, what? Because the other this one's
the other ones do not wear down. No,
Oh, really? For
They
life? they're
do.
just gonna
No,
be there?
no, they do.
Chinzia.
They wear down for me. I got like the hard cork ones, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm like, loosh, loosh. Like, I don't know what I was doing, but yeah, it like wore and like, cause like I walk like this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so like it wore like that, and then I had to eventually donate them. But can you get them recorked?
Maybe, but you
I
can also
should-
buy this cork sealer that you put on the outside so that they don't crack and like damage. But they're rubber on the bottom and then cork
Yeah,
on top.
yeah.
I wore those at that. Sorry, I don't mean to be like.
Okay.
I wore those.
I own you.
I wore those at that Quebec thing. Remember
Ah, yes, the
when
field one.
once we went in, we couldn't move, we couldn't pee, we couldn't do anything,
Mm.
and we stood for easily 8 hours straight without sitting down, without whatever,
Holy.
and my feet were fine.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was
That,
just
they're like
thinking-
$100 pair of shoes though. Birkenstocks are an investment, girl.
They're no Old Navy dollar flip flops.
No, but that you don't want to wear Old Navy dollar flip flops. You're
No.
gonna die.
Yes, this is
Yeah.
true.
You know what I mean? So you need to be supported.
Or if you're
Okay.
wearing the uncomfortable ones, have the comfortable ones in your purse if you can. If you're bringing
Lots
your
of
purse.
girls. So here's another pro tip. Tons of girls do this, especially if they're doing like a VIP like picture meet and greet kind of thing. They wear the heels to the picture, looking cute. As soon as the picture's over, they're like, heels off, in my bag. Here come the flats.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at the concert, even if you're in the front, no one can see your feet.
No.
You know?
It's true.
Yeah. Like, sure, it'll give you a little more of a height thing, but.
Unless you're really used to wearing heels, I would not advise. And I wouldn't
And
advise
at least
anything
wear the shoes
flimsy.
ahead of time before. Like, the concert should not be the first time you're wearing these shoes.
Oh, 100%.
You should be wearing
Oh,
them
no,
ahead
yeah.
of time to check it out.
You should break them in before you go to the
Mhm.
concert.
Yes.
Also, even if you're unfamiliar with the venue or you don't know what the weather is going to be like, my advice for what clothes to wear to a concert are you're always going to be hot. Whether
Yeah.
it's inside, outside. You know, we were at that Pop 2000 thing or Park Jam thing.
Ah,
it was
yes.
September. When we actually left the crowd, it was freezing. Like 98 degrees was like literally like I feel like I have frostbite, you know, like but as
We're
they were
just like,
starting.
it's really hot here. I don't know what's up.
But you're gonna be hot because you're gonna be surrounded by people. You're gonna be excited. Your blood's gonna be
Yeah,
pumping.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so you need to dress coolly or at minimum in layers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a light sweater is very good to have to like put in.
Yes.
Hoodies are
You know,
good.
if you have a friend like Sophia who carries a big bag, you're like, hey, friend. You
Yes.
know. And
Sophia's
Always,
like,
there,
yes.
always there to help out.
Aw, you're so
Huh.
nice, so.
Sophia has her Wiley bags and there's lots of room in there. So
yes,
Yes,
she
it's
can
very
help us
good
in
quality.
carrying these things.
yeah, if you don't have to carry anything, if the minimum the better, then just have a little wristlet wallet or something.
Yeah, those are the best.
Shove it in your tit. That's
Yeah,
what I
call
do.
it a
Oh,
day.
Chinzia shoves a lot of things in her bra.
Like
Not
straws.
literally in her tit. She
No.
says her tit, but it's in her
Yeah,
bra.
not in
Yes,
her
that's
tits.
correct.
The
That'll
secret
be
pocket.
Interesting.
She carries lots of things. Yesterday I found a triangle
Yes.
made of a straw. I don't know how it got there.
She
What's
doesn't know how
How?
a straw in the shape of a triangle got in her bra.
I feel like you would have maybe
I was
have had a
playing with
hand
this-
in that.
Yes.
Okay.
I I was playing with the straw. I made it a triangle, and then I guess I didn't have pockets, so I must have put it in here. And then it was stabbing me, and I was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, I guess this is what happened."
Oh my god, amazing.
Other travel clothes suggestions is be very comfortable when you're traveling. So I find that regardless if I'm in a car or in a plane, I'm always wearing tights. Granted, I always wear tights all the time now.
Tights are the best.
Tights are the best.
Oh my god.
This team right here is done with pants.
Over.
Team
Pants
tights.
and jeans are done.
Yes.
Tights are like they're like the quarantine pantaloon because like they go, they stretch, they're
go with
forgiving,
everything.
they go with
Yes.
everything. I love it.
Excellent. And then also, because when you're flying on a plane, you always have to take things out of your pockets and stuff. There's no pockets. So you don't have to worry about that. One less thing to worry about.
Because like when fluffy people are on airplanes, we need to take up as minimum space as possible so that we don't need that extender, so that we don't have to like, you know, feel that hurt in our pride. It's like, I don't need the extension. You know? Yeah.
Okay.
I need to exhale all of the oxygen from my body. Okay.
I also like to wear flip-flops on planes too, because again, when you have to take your shoes off and stuff.
I guess.
Because if you have running shoes,
they
you're
don't
gonna tie
shampoo
them
those,
off.
man. It's just
And then you have to walk on the floor with your bare feet.
Brittany.
YOLO.
All right.
I usually slip off my running shoes,
I do
so
too,
it's
yeah.
not that
But
But
hard.
I have
just-
a protective sock
Yeah.
to protect me from the carpeting. I know.
YOLO.
Yeah, I know. You know, Chinzia's got a very good immune system. All right, guys. I like someone like coughs
Hey,
like
I'm not
5 feet
judging
away, and I'm like,
Cynthia.
I'm
If that
dead.
works for her,
Yep.
that works for her. What are you gonna do?
I
What
know.
shoe am I gonna-
Also, I always find, and maybe this is a weird thing, I'm always cold on planes.
Yeah, they are cold. It's because it's like
Yeah,
they
it's
Are
pump
you
the
cold.
wearing
air.
a
They're
hoodie?
like, and you're like, and there's like, where's this whistling coming from?
I'm
Always.
Sorry. I'm sorry, what do they do? Oh, okay. Yes.
You know that sound. You know that
What did you-
sound.
What did she say they do?
She's making
You
a
should
noise.
really watch the video back.
It's just guys, but you know this sound. It's like where the little like the point nipples are like you have to like screw them at the top and then
Point nip- Oh, the air
little-
conditioning.
yeah, right. It's just like it's making that noise, and you're just like, this seems like a noise it shouldn't be making. Like this plane is 1,000 years old, and I'm hearing, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. But hopefully I don't. Hopefully I
Okay.
make it to my destination.
Well, that's another
Ah.
bonus of being in a car.
Yes, that's true. That's
Yes.
true. Roll down the window,
Yes.
call it a day.
It's true.
Yes,
And
true.
if the car breaks down, you don't die. If the plane breaks down, you did.
You did.
Okay, well, on that morbid.
All
You
right.
didn't get into a car crash though, but
That's
Well,
true.
happened.
So
You could get into a
Nothing
plane
happened.
crash.
Yeah, also true.
Here's another tip about driving to hotels. I don't think we mentioned this yet. So sometimes what we do is, let's say that their event is on the Saturday, and we're gonna leave the Thursday night. Nope, the Friday night. We're gonna leave the Friday, but we don't know what time we're going at. We don't want to get a hotel on the Friday because we're not sure how far we're gonna drive until we stop. So, because you feel like if you do it, then you're like, okay, we're only going to drive 4 hours, and we're going to stop, then we have to do it. But sometimes you have like a little more of second wind, or you can drive a little further, so you try to get as close to your destination as possible. So occasionally, now this is not going to say that this works all the time, because it doesn't work all the time, but occasionally you can get to your destination, and it'll be like 4 o'clock in the morning. So you'd be like, hey, I know I'm checking in today, but I haven't done this yet. Like, can we check in early? And sometimes they'll let you check in for free, or like half price, or $50 or whatever to get you in. And sometimes they don't, and then you just sleep in the parking lot.
Like Quebec.
Like Quebec.
Why
and like,
are Quebec people all like this? Why? I don't get it.
it's Bonhomme de Neige. It's his fault.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes. But yeah, so, or if you can't, at least you're going to drive as far as you can go. And then there's always like motels off the side of the highway, or even from your phone, you can do the hotwire thing.
Yeah.
Or you can, Trivago is also very good. So if you know what city you're in, and then you can just kind of look it up and be like, okay, this guy's saying it's this price. So, yeah,
Yes.
we use Trivago and hotwire a lot.
Trivago is my favorite.
Yes.
I like Hotwire because it's like a mystery.
Mystery.
Anyways, circling back to the clothes, because I had one more point.
All right.
Now, at the start of this, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Diane, you said I was going to look snatched. You said I was going to
And we're still
prepare.
good.
and
this
I
is a
was
real
gonna look
word.
This
good.
is a real word. Yes,
Okay.
snatched is a good word.
But snatch is not.
No.
Snatched. is.
Okay.
ED.
Okay.
Makes a difference. Anyways,
Okay.
Diane and I know what you're talking
Okay,
about. Really
gotcha.
gets
All right.
it.
You guys
Snatched.
get it.
Yes. Okay.
And so, so far, all I've been talking about is wearing Birkenstocks and comfortable clothes. Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, most concert situations you're gonna be in, and most people are only looking at you for tits up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or sorry, if you're a man, pecs
Pecs up.
up. Okay. No one's looking at the bottom half of you at all. They
So
can't
you
see
should
it
wear pajama pants.
because you're in a crowd of people. Okay, you're also in public, so
Yes, I
other
know.
people are going to see you. So please wear normal pants or a skirt or dress, whatever is comfortable for you. Sometimes it's nice to have a dress. It's breezy under
Ooh,
there,
Yeah.
you know,
Beauty.
breezy on the legs.
Sometimes just don't wear any pants at all. Just go pantsless.
Nope, always
say-
wear pants.
They always say no shirt, no shoes, no service. Nobody says anything about pants.
Please always wear pants.
Yeah, wear pants. Yeah, for safety. God, there could be like butt germs everywhere. You don't want that.
Anyways, so you really only gotta think, I gotta look good from the tits up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mhm.
so you gotta have a nice shirt that's comfortable, but like, you know, nice.
Sparkly.
Yeah.
If you got tits, show them.
And then you
off
gotta
in
worry
the top.
about the face and the hair looking good.
Yes.
Okay.
Agreed.
Now, you're gonna be sweaty. We talked about this already,
Yes. we
right?
did.
So, if your hair is gonna get all matted and sweaty, is that cute?
Mm-mm.
No, it's not. Right? So think these things through. Should I wear my hair like a little bit up? You know, you want it to look good. This is what people are, this is the money,
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
Yes.
It's true.
right? And if you're going to go the route of putting on makeup, these guys hate it. They give me a hard time. I like
Give
to
you a
wear
hard
it.
They
time.
do.
We give you a hard time because you take forever. We don't give you a hard time because you put it on.
Oh.
You give me a hard time for both things. And the thing is, I like to take my time.
That's what friends are for.
Okay.
Lord,
So
we
anyways,
love you anyway.
But if you're going to put it on, here's my advice. You need primer
Mm.
and you need setting spray.
Yes.
Because nobody wants your
Melting.
makeup to be melting off your face. Friggin' mascara and eyeliner running down. That's not a good look.
No.
Okay?
Maybe
You
you're
know?
going for the crying mascara look.
Nobody.
Is anyone
Maybe
going
you want
for
to
that
look
look?
like a raccoon.
That is incorrect.
Oh my goodness.
No one wants
Anyways.
to look like that. Okay?
I like
No one
sparkles.
wants to have
Sparkles
a
are
shiny, oily T-zone and look like, you know, when I get sweaty, sometimes I get red in this area. No one wants that.
No, I know. what you
Okay.
do. Yeah.
You want that to be covered up, canceled, looking good. Okay? So take your time, prime that shit, spray the shit out of your face so that everything is locked in. So
Mm.
that when you're sweating later, this is all still good.
Yeah. Agreed. Yep.
Okay.
That is a good point to make.
My
for those out
extent
there
of
that want-
makeup is occasionally putting sparkles on my face.
That's good
That's
too.
good. That's self-care, guys.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sparkles are the herpes of the crafting world.
Yes. Anyone have any other tips?
Expect to blow your budget because things are expensive.
That's a good point.
Like, how much was the hoodie? $110 for the Backstreet Boy hoodie?
I don't think we want to discuss dollars on this podcast.
Right, Mom watches. I see.
No,
I
she
mean,
really doesn't.
no,
I'm just
sure.
saying that, go in and whatever. Like, obviously.
Allow the budget to be a little bit flexible.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Thank you.
Don't have a hard, like, I only have $500 to spend, and if I spend $1 more, I'm broke. You
Like,
know?
Our friend's family went to Disney when they were younger, when they were in high school.
Oh, yeah.
And they splurged to stay at one of the resorts, but they didn't put food in the budget. So they were very hungry the entire time they were there. At one point, they got 10 burritos for $1 or something at the grocery store, and then had an adverse
$1
reaction.
each, or
I'm not really sure.
$1 for 10?
It was a cheap price that made their way through the system quite quickly, and then they lost out on days of vacation. Or they had to go, they were getting like a Mickey Mouse pancake, but there wasn't enough for the family of 5, so they had to split the ears and stuff. So, like, they would make salads out of the toppings from the burgers. So instead of having this like amazing vacation, which they're like, oh, we did this and this and this, most of it was like we were very hungry and didn't get to do these things. So,
Scrounging for food.
So yes.
Yeah. You don't want to have to take out a loan to go on vacation.
So budget
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day,
and you don't have to eat at the fanciest restaurants or whatever. Especially in the States, there's so many like Cece's Pizza Buffet. It was like $5.99. Like this is amazing. Like there's lots of like good deals and things like that. So
my final tip, if no one else has any others, is this is your vacation. Okay, you've saved for this, you've planned for this, you put in the work, you put in the time, you drove the many hours, you snatched yourself, you're comfortable, you spent your money. Now it's time to relax and enjoy yourself. Stop worrying, stop stressing. You're there now. Enjoy, take it in,
live in the moment.
You don't need to Instagram live every moment of the show. You don't need to worry. It is what it is. You're there now. Just
be nice to the people around you.
Take it in and enjoy.
Yeah.
Because some people forget to do that. And it's important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then if you have time, explore the city before and after the concert. Who knows what you'll find?
Like if you don't need to wait in a line to get there, then don't wait in a line and go enjoy yourself.
Exactly.
Trust me, enjoying your life pre and post concert is way more fun than being like, well, what if I missed and didn't get that selfie? Like, okay, yeah, a selfie's great, but it's 2 hours of misery for 30 seconds of joy, possibly, and it's not even a guarantee.
Yeah, that's true.
Like some of our more funniest inside jokes from vacations have happened outside of the concert.
100%.
Like in Boston with the trolley, the car.
Yes, we were taking the subway.
Ma'am, car is not for you.
So we were just talking amongst ourselves, and there was 2 tracks, and we're just like, which track are we supposed to be on? And this lady's like, ma'am, this track is not for you. And we're like, okay. She's like, this is for this afterwards. Blah, blah, blah. We're like, okay. She just kept yelling. We're like, okay, we'll go to that track. It's not for you.
Ma'am, this is not for you. We're like, okay.
We're like, okay, thank you. And then we were just, so then the rest of the trip, anytime we like, can I have a French fry? Ma'am, this French fry is not for you. Like,
yes, or I always think about LA when we went there for that specific Backstreet Boy event.
Oh, yes.
That kind of got canceled. But
what?
Is that what you're talking about?
What?
Yes, that is where the infamous "It's Eric from O-Town" thing happened. But that was actually at the event.
Yes,
but I mean, the rest of the trip was so fun that I kind of forget what the purpose of us going there was.
Like when we did that tour with the...
Yes. No Coca, only the Pepsi.
Only the Pepsi, don't have the Coke. Just like...
What?
Because apparently a lot of celebrities die from cocaine, so the guy was like, don't drink the Coke, only the Pepsi. And
we went on one of these budget Hollywood tours, and it was just literally...
And it was hilarious because ours was open, right? We're like, we were looking at the Hollywood Star Squares. What are they called?
Stars?
Walk of Fame. And then we somehow got coerced into going into this man's limo-y thing.
It wasn't a limo.
I don't know how
it was basically.
We told him, no, it's okay.
It was basically a pickup truck, which he had like fashioned some seats in the back.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Hilarious.
And these guys are like, let's go, and I'm like, we're gonna die.
Yeah.
The best part is, and then we didn't have a roof, so we're like, and the other people had roofs. We're like losers. At least we get look at us. We're in California with the sun. It's great. Then it started pouring rain. And then we were like by Michael Jackson's house, and we're just like, it's so cold. They're like, do you want to keep going on the tour? We're like, no, please bring us back. We don't want to be on this anymore. And we were drenched.
Oh my god, that sounds awful.
It was hilarious. It was good. Diane was not impressed.
I was not impressed at the time, but I can reflect back on it and laugh.
And the reason we went for the trip was our 30th birthday. We went early.
Yeah,
that's true.
It was like an early birthday thing.
We also went sort of for the premiere of the Backstreet Boys documentary.
Yes. That was.
It was
also
supposed to
that.
be more of a thing, but then it kind of wasn't.
Yes, but we got to meet Eric from O-Town and Jeff Timmons.
Star
Ooh.
from last episode.
I don't know why. I'm just like, you know why? I'm sorry. Because I'm going to give a shout out to Jeff Timmons because he enjoys all of our tweets. Not all of them.
All of them.
And likes
The
them
ones that
and
he's
like
tagged
retweets.
in.
And it's just like, thank you, Jeff Timmons, for appreciating our humor. So, kudos to you, sir.
Kudos to you indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, kudos to you, Jeff Timmons.
Indeed.
Always good for a like.
Go follow him on Twitter.
I'm sure it's at Jeff Timmons. And while you're there, follow at BoyBandBreak because we also have fun things.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.